Let's talk a little bit about George Pickens, man. He's a topic of discussion after the Steelers versus Falcons game. If you watched that game, it was very obvious he was frustrated on the sideline. He made it known real easily. He only had one catch for 2 yards off of 2 targets. That's it from a guy like George Pickens.
Yeah, a man that has the utmost talent and arguably the highest ceiling out of any wide receiver in the Steelers locker room right now.
And is honestly playing like our number one all year, whether you want to admit it or not. As of this year, in my opinion, he is our number one wide receiver. Because every time you throw him the ball, good things happen. Every time he's involved, positive happens.
Yeah, for a Steelers offense that hasn't really seen much positive this season.
So I understand Pickens' frustration because he's getting open. He knows he can help the team. He's working hard. He wants the ball. I get it. I get his frustration.
He really let his frustrations known Sunday against the Falcons. There was even a point where the broadcast team were highlighting it. There was even a point that Cam Hayward had to come over and calm him down and talk to him on the sidelines, on the bench. There was even another point in the game where during a play where Deontay almost fumbled the ball, but it was ruled a drop. The CBS really broadcasted George Pickens right there after the play happened, and you could really see him kind of slur something along the lines like, throw me the fucking ball, when he got to the sidelines. So he was extremely pissed off by his usage and not being targeted when he was getting open. Like, he really let his frustrations be known against the Atlanta Falcons.
And in a way, he's right. You know, he needs to be involved more. We need to utilize him. The Pickett to Pickens connection is something we can all get behind. It's a highlight early in both of their careers, and it's something we can all get excited for in the future. So I understand his frustration. He's right in being frustrated. He's also a rookie, so he's gonna be frustrated when things like this happen. But at the same time, it's something that somewhat worries me. I'm not going to lie to you. Because, let's be honest, how many years has this wide receiver room been full of drama and ridiculousness and stuff that should not be part of this core and completely blinds what happens on the football field?
Yeah, and it's quite honestly been a headache for far too long.
Far too long. Far too long. And I'm not saying it's going to end up like this. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it's something that does worry me. Because we've seen it too many times in the wide receiver room. You kind of already know when it's going to lead down that way. I'm hoping because he's young, because he's a rookie, he's going to experience these feelings, these emotions that, hey, you're not going to get the ball all the time.
Yeah.
I get you're frustrated, you're working hard, you're getting open, you're not seeing targets, you know you can help the team. I feel you. I get it.
I understand, you want to be the guy that helps your team win. You want to be, I guess, the reason why your team won, but that's not going to be the case all the time.
No.
You want to be that guy. I understand that. I can respect that. For you to have that mentality, I can respect that. But sometimes that mentality can really get to your ego, and we don't want that happening.
And it can become very selfish. Again, we're not saying it's going to happen. We're not saying it's going to lead down that way, but it is something that does concern us in the future. He's right in being frustrated. He's a rookie. He's going to have those feelings, but I'm hoping as he experiences these emotions early that he matures a little bit. Again, he's not going to see every target. He's not going to get every single ball thrown his way.
Yeah.
This is something he's going to have to learn. How many wide receivers have we had that are prima donnas? I'm not calling him a prima donna now, but these attitudes are something it could escalate in the future, and I don't want it to get that way. So, is Pickens right in his emotions? Yes. Is this a good or bad thing? I say both. Because you want to see that emotion, you want to see that heart, you want to see that passion from the guy.
Yeah.
Right? He's passionate about the game. He's passionate about winning. He's passionate about helping the squad. That's what you want. You want guys that want to win, but you also don't want selfishness. And if this continues, I hope that doesn't get to Pickens, and I hope that doesn't hurt the wide receiver room, because that's the last thing. Or
even tarnish the communication with your quarterback and Kenny Pickett. I highly doubt that's going to be the case right now. I highly doubt that's going to be the case at all. I hope not. You got to remember, Kenny Pickett is a rookie at the same time. Yep. He's not going to find Pickett all the time or Pickens all the time. Sometimes you're going to be pressured. Sometimes there's going to be another receiver that's open. These things happen in the NFL. These things happen on offense.
And I don't think his words were intended to the quarterback. He was obviously very vocal to the sideline, to the coaching staff.
And the coaching staff has also been, a worrisome thing when it comes to all this talent. You got all this talent, and you can sense the limitations that they're involved in.
They're not utilizing these guys to the best of their ability. We all know that. We've been saying that for years. With every single receiver that's come in and out of this fucking organization, none of them were utilized properly. And that's still remaining the case. So I understand Pickens' frustration. But I hope this doesn't escalate to something bigger down the road. That's all we're going to say.
Yeah, because there's even a point that he declined interviews after the Atlanta Falcons game.
Which may be for the best, honestly.
Yeah.
That may be for the best. Because Pickens comes off as a very vocal guy, which, hey, I can respect.
But you don't want you don't want that to become your enemy, especially with social media nowadays. They'll take any word you say and just completely blow it out of proportions. We can sense he's a passionate player. We're just worried, and we just hope that this doesn't escalate to him having a big ego who's greedy and thinks that it's that I'm the team kind of personality.
Because, hey, it's not the first time that's hit the receiver room. We're not saying it's going to happen, but it's something we're worried about down the road. There were character issues with Pickens back in Georgia.
And that was a big worrisome thing, when it came to scouting George Pickens coming out of Georgia.
It wasn't just his injury that made him drop. Some of the concerns were character issues.
And we haven't really seen much of that at all, or any of that, until leading to this very point.